Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another Payday 2 video, and if you saw the title of this video, it's going to be talking about the recent events of Payday 2 and its current quote-unquote leaks, as everybody's calling them. Now, before we start getting into that stuff, I want to quickly say that these are going to be in a timeline of events that I have set up. Now, all I want to say is, first, during the time period of the biker heist, we got the biker heist, everything was cool, and then nothing for a while. Everything was kind of silent, there wasn't much talk of any new DLC, nothing really new popping up. Then came the Hox and Housewarming party. Nothing really small, a lot of cool stuff with it, but a mysterious door was there. Now, a lot of people weren't speculating on what the door was at the time, and I think if we go and check on Hoxalicious in a while, that I want to see when the stuff was actually leaked, I guess, because stuff just doesn't make any sense to me right now. So let's start off with saying that after Hoxton, the housewarming party, we all got this, the John Wick weapon pack, which, was thought to be, this is for the movie that's coming out, for the game, that are coming around at the same date. The VR game is coming around the 9th, and the movie is coming out on the 10th. Now, I want to make a quick point here. As you can see the transition of, revealing the sniper rifle and all that. This shot right here. Now, what I've noticed in almost of all of Payday 2's trailers and having to do with characters or such take place in an area that we are known, we have somewhat knowledge of. Say, Hardcore Henry, there's a specific time period, you have the interaction with the stupid, like blonde hair guy, white hair, whatever you want to call him, I forgot his name, A-Can, that's his name. Then you go to the apartment, your crew's there, then Jimmy's there, and then it goes into the bomb heist, where you steal the MP, and then you move on from that to then putting it in Russia. But there's certainly a timeline of events in almost all of the DLCs that I think we have seen. I can't really think of if I took the time, I could probably think of a few, but right now it doesn't seem like there's any real DLC that I've seen that we have no real knowledge of. We've almost had rough kind of an idea of where it takes place and what we're doing there. With the John Wick weapon pack was the first time that I questioned, were we going to get a heist? What's going on? Because he's outside a window. He currently assassinated someone. He's dropped the sniper with the guard. He's walking off. He's going into a different hallway. And then he's in this room. We've never seen a room like this in Payday. Now, why, you're asking yourself probably, why are you even pointing this out? This has nothing to do with the leaks. I think somewhat this does have to do something with the leaks, because after this trailer, right, we have the hallway segment and everything. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like this is part of the new heist, the new leaked heist that is coming out. Now, moving on from that point, we got, after the Gage Spec Ops pack, current beta with the developers and everything, there was a leaked on stream that Jules over here leaked accidentally that there are going to be rifle ammo types. As you can see here, HE rounds, probably some shield stuff, some other stuff. Anyways, during this time period, it was leaked that there are types of rifle ammo. Now, if I know, I don't know if it's going to be a part of the John Wick weapon or heist pack or what, but I just thought this was kind of like a little neat point to talk about. Moving on from that, we have this. Now, a lot of you guys will probably know, oh, well, this is obviously, the mansion in Scarface for the heist, right? Well, during this time period, this was leaked out. Also, a while back, it was leaked that there are going to be a new character named Chico. And people were, putting the pieces together that this is for a Scarface future DLC. Scarface. But before we could even get that, we got the free Christmas heist for Vlad, which kind of acted like, it's the Christmas season and all that. Right after that, we got the Scarface heist, And what's puzzling to me is that this has been around for quite a while. This has been worked on. Because as soon as Hox and Housewarming Party was, the heist was implemented into the game, or even mentioned, that this means that this existed before. This whole deal, the whole Scarface Mansion thing, Scarface as a character in the game existed before. Because the door was implemented. I mean, it wasn't open, but the door was a rough image to tell it was Scarface. Now, it's just kind of odd to me that John Wick came first, and then Scarface. Technically, Scarface came first with that, and then John Wick happened, and then into Scarface. And now, we have these leaked files of sounds that I'll also be going into, of a John Wick heist. And it's pretty much easily a giveaway at the first hint of, Hox Delicious of the voice files. Bane telling us that we need to go to New York for the Continental. And, I'm going to guess, and I was talking about this too, I think, in the Shadow Warrior DLC video or what, but I had a rough guess, and then maybe I didn't record it or not, but after I did that video, I then saw the leaks, heard the leaks, and then I was thinking of stuff. Now, this DLC is going to happen this month. I'm about 85% sure it will happen this month. Why? Well, it's John Wick month, technically. We have the 9th that's going to be releasing the game, so far as I know. And then the 10th is when the movie comes out. Now, usually Payday, as we go over here, usually Payday DLC works like this. We get, this little week here on February. But as soon as we get into Monday, after Monday is Tuesday. Overkill likes to release news or a trailer or just somewhat of a, hey, this is coming up on Tuesday. Then day 2 on Wednesday, and then usually releases on Thursday, which is when the game, the VR game comes out. And after that is Friday, which is the movie. Now, whether or not that they are connected or not, I have no idea. If, it's actually going to be coming out this week or this week or this week. But it will certainly be on either of the 3 weeks right here. Because there's no way that they're going to miss this opportunity of releasing the John Wick heist and not release it in the same month as the game and the movie. Now, before we get into these leaked voice lines, there's also this. These are new hats or, masks, or materials. And I don't know what the heck any of these are, so I'm not going to get into them. But we certainly have somewhat of a general hat. Kind of looks like a new version of the Bison or the Overkill hat. We got a sailor hat. We got an eagle. And we got the Statue of Liberty. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here, and it might become more clear as we look here, we have a rough timeline here. We have over here, this is when when Hox and Housewarming was happening, and it was, hinted at way before, as soon as Hox and Housewarming Party came out, that the Scarface heists were confirmed, pretty much. And the suit and everything, it was confirmed. Now, I don't remember exactly when the John Wick VR game was announced, probably around this time period, maybe. But it was certainly announced. Now, I don't know if Lionsgate and Overkill or Starbreeze, whatever you want to call them, were negotiating about doing a DLC. But why exactly would you release Hox and Housewarming Party with Scarface Room? I mean, except for, obviously hinting at something and, being like, oh, well, it's just easier to program the door in there and then just, get the rest of it later. But why was the John Wick weapon pack released during this time period? Then Gage Spec Ops pack, which we did get the leak of the ammo types, and then Scarface heists. Because there was no particular deadline for these two, really. But I'm guessing Overkill was like, I don't know. Because if they had to release it, then there wouldn't be a high, I don't know, I would say that there wouldn't be a high quality song by theMDLune or music or a trailer, all that type of stuff. So I don't know if it was planned in advance, if the trailers and stuff was planned in advance and they were just waiting, or it got leaked and they were like, shoot, we need to start work, we need to upload it soon, I guess, post the DLC, because there's no particular deadline because the movie is still, it's either in production or it's being worked on, or it hasn't even been worked on. It's just like been an idea and announced. Now, John Wick 2 was announced before, and also the game, the VR game. And then the John Wick weapon pack came out this date, October 22nd, and we move on. We got November 24th, then December 15th, right? During this time period. And it's kind of just like, it makes me wonder what came first in terms of deals. Because if the Scarface Heist and Scarface Character Pack was being worked on way in advance of Hox and Housewarming Party, then the heist itself and the character was being worked on before Hox and Housewarming Party. And then was implemented and, being worked on behind the scenes. But the John Wick weapon pack was also, a thing. The trailer was made. It's just confusing me because I feel like they wanted to release the John Wick weapon pack with the heist, the leak heist that's, being worked on or has been worked on, and it's going to be released in a couple weeks. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I wonder if they were working on both licenses at the time, or they just worked on the Scarface heist, tweaked it a bit while working on this new John Wick weapon pack or John Wick heist. So that's all I'm trying to say, is that I feel like there's some sort of time period with these. Now, let's get back with this. Now, a lot of people are also speculating that these sounds and everything in these files also sounds like kind of water, kind of like, and going up, rising up from the shore, from water, whatever you want to call it. Now, when I look at these masks, it doesn't really spark John Wick to me. What it does spark is more of Statue of Liberty, Bald Eagle. Obviously America, right? But, the Statue of Liberty is known for being green. The Bald Eagle is known for being America. This is, part of an ocean, and this is a general. A lot of people are speculating that Greenbridge might be coming out soon, and I kind of agree, though I don't know if it will be released during this time period. I feel like Overkill is going to wait a bit, because here's the thing right now. We have about, let's see, in my collective knowledge, if I can think about it, we have, 5 of the original Pay the Heist heists. We have First World Bank, Counterfeit, Undercover, Slaughterhouse, and Panic Room. That's 5. Now, we are missing, what I can think of right now is, I think, 4, because 9. We are missing Heat Street, Green Bridge, No Mercy, and Diamond Heist. Not Diamond Store, Diamond Heist. So those are 4 of the original heists that are still missing. Now, usually like last year, they, if I remember correctly, they released one in a DLC and one during the stupid... give me a second to stretch. And one during Hox and House, or not Hox and House, I mean the other Crime Fest. I feel like that Overkill is going to release 2 or 1 during the summer, during June or July. Maybe with these masks. Because then that would entail that it's a DLC, most likely. So, I'm saying that I'm going to bet they're going to save the 2 best ones for last. Which, I mean, it's dependent because Greenbridge is obviously going to come first. It's got to be, because Greenbridge was not that great of a heist, but they had to put something equally, to balance it out. And I think it's going to be, it's either going to be Diamond Heist or No Mercy. Now, I feel like it's going to be Diamond Heist more or Heat Street in that type of line, because they might have to ask Valve if they can do No Mercy. And it's already been hinted at that No Mercy is being worked on a while back. But that could have been just like a fan thing. So Greenbridge was going to come first, and it's going to be one of those 3. And I doubt it's going to be No Mercy. So it's either going to be Diamond Heist or Heat Street. And I feel like it's going to be Heat Street, because they've worked on big heists, and I feel like Diamond Heist is just kind of like something to save for a while. And yeah, so I feel like these are going to be in a future DLC, and if they do, and the other thing too is that the only connection I can think of New York is obviously the Statue of Liberty, but I also feel like it could be Greenbridge. So I don't know if Greenbridge is going to come out this month too, or in the next couple of months, but I don't know. I mean, they're going to call it the Hoxton and then the Chains Pack maybe, but well, technically it will be the Chains Pack then, and then it's got to be something else, but because, Hox and Housewarming Party came out with Panic Room, but yeah. So, moving on from this talk, the speculation that I've been talking about for about 18 minutes. I'm sorry if you came here for me just to talk about, the sounds and everything, but I just want to get that off of my chest, because I feel like the coming heists of the John Wick heist, basically in a short form, I feel like the weapon pack was supposed to be released with this new heist. So the heist will be a solo one, I'm betting. And I think that they were both being worked on way in advance. And that's about it. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into the... also, by the way, thank you for Lol Noob What One and Hoxalicious too, for leaking these stuff out, I guess. So let's take a listen.
Gotta hurry, guys. The Continental just called. You're going to New York on a rescue mission. The Continental in New York need you to rescue one of their own. They pay well. You're going to New York tonight. The Continental called. One other key staff has been ambushed and is being held by unknown assailants at an address in Brooklyn. We have the location from a call he made just as they took him. The target's name is Sharon. We need to get there fast, take out whoever's got him, and send him back to the Continental safe and sound. You're going to New York for a rescue mission for the Continental.
So, what we basically got is we're obviously going to go to New York, and it said Brooklyn, so I'm guessing we're going to go to Brooklyn. Now, it says that the Continental called and wants us to go to New York for a rescue mission, right? The other thing about that is that Greenbridge is technically a rescue mission. It's also a breakout mission because, well, you know, you're breaking out that, the guy out of the armored car, the van, the armored transportation truck, and lifting him off into a balloon. That's why a lot of people are speculating that, Greenbridge might be coming out soon, or is going to be maybe tied. And I'm not entirely sure. I think, because I'm pretty sure Greenbridge, takes place around that area, but I could be wrong. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people were talking about, apparently Jules on one of the live streams, because I don't really watch their live streams, said that there weren't going to be any more contractors. And, well, here's the thing. It is either going to be a new contractor or a heister that we know, which is Wick, or it's going to be Bang contracting the heists or it's going to be in the contracting list. I have no problem with this, really, but I think the main concern, and I can agree with a lot of people, was for a while that, what's her face? The Butcher did not have a lot of heists for a long time. Reason being is because the Butcher was more, I think, of a test. Was more of a test for Lion Game Lion to work on their own heist, and then Overkill would take out, or would take care of the marketing and other stuff. And they didn't know what to do with the Butcher anymore, except for keep releasing weapon packs and such. Now, I think, during the Scarface thing, they were like, all right, let's use the Butcher because it makes sense, because cartels and such, and they had not done anything with her for a while. Now, I think that's the main problem with everybody, is that they're afraid that they're going to release contractors and then there'd be nothing with them. That was the problem with Jimmy, because originally there were going to be elephant heists that turned into Jimmy for no reason. So that's the main issue with everything right now. So I don't really mind it, but from a story and kind of just game standpoint, it doesn't really make any sense to keep making contractors that you're not going to be dealing with for a long time. I mean, Hector's a different story, because none of us knew he was the Rat, though he was kind of an obvious sign because we barely worked with him for a while. And I think Overkill just found an opportunity to get rid of a contractor that they felt like that they weren't going to be able to use anymore. So, moving on with that, we have this little neat clip. So, in that clip, you can hear cops trying to tell someone to stand down, and it sounds like you're in a room. At least the person that's in, or something that's hearing the sounds, is in a certain room, like outside of a door, or like inside of a room, and the cops are outside of the door, and whoever's shooting at them is, out in that room too, killing them. Now, right now, to me, it just occurred to me, that kind of sounds like a shotgun, but a shotgun is a bit more loud, I think, in my opinion. And I think a shotgun would be a bit faster, too. It sounds like someone is taking their time with the shots. So I think it's more of a pistol, but that's just my opinion. Moving on. Now, that kind of sounded like an air vent, or, an ambient type of sound. Let's go back a bit. A lot of opening and closing doors, putting stuff down. Kind of sounds like fireworks, though it could be a gun in the distance maybe, but it just sounds like fireworks to me. That either sounds like someone grabbing a gun, maybe putting something down, or, you know, trying to fix something, applying something. But it also kind of sounds like... Here, let me replay it just to remember what it sounded like. Sounds like fireworks or gunfire. Kind of sounds like a lockpick in a door. Kind of, you know, many different sounds to interpret with that one. It sounds like an empty room. I think I heard people in the background. Opening and closing doors. It sounds like a drawer was open and then glass broke. Now, this is where the point where I think a lot of people were thinking, oh, it has to be something from Greenbridge. Also, on another note, though I doubt it, this could be part of the trailer. Like, some of the sounds could have been part of the trailer, though I kind of doubt it somewhat, but who knows. So, in this next clip, because I heard all these sounds before, because, you know, I saw the leak, this one to me sounds like either someone going up, someone in the water gasping for air, or, let's see, you know, kind of sounds also like someone's being tortured in water, so that could be like a thing in the heist where you have to torture someone, I guess, or someone is being tortured and you have to save them, or you're just, you know, in the water and you're going up, but hey. See, and the thing is, it sounds like someone's struggling to get air because a lot of bubbles and everything. And from the perspective of the person, they don't sound to be under the water to be, because it sounds like, because, you know, a lot of confusing stuff I know that I'm saying right now. Basically, what I'm saying is that from the perspective of the person that's listening to this, or whatever is listening to this, must be out of the water to hear these sounds very clearly of bubbles. And then someone, it sounds like it's struggling, so it has to be someone like in the sink, bathtub is being forcefully, you know, waterboarded, I guess, you know, and, you know, can't breathe. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because it just doesn't sound like a person that is in the water. Also, but maybe not, this kind of, I mean, it could be like you're on a boat and you're, you know, rowing the boat gently along down the stream, but I don't know. Glass broke, someone opened a drawer. More glass breaking. Sounds like something either opening or closing, and that could be a vent or some sort of door. Another drawer. Sounds like a drawer. Air vent. Air vent. Just sounds like an ambient sounds, like maybe a crowd of some sort. More vents. Glass breaking, vents. It sounds like someone's going through boxes and slowly well, not really slowly, but you know, like trying to shaking it out, kind of like a box. Alright, now all that stuff kind of sound like vents. This one is a group of people. Now, while listening to these, I heard lots of Roger Rabbit in my head and Almir laughing, a lot of people talking. And I think I heard Georgia from, you know, who played Sydney in the crowd. So this could have been maybe recorded during Payday Con, or this is just kind of like they went in the office and are like, all right, we need lots of people to stop doing work and get into, you know, a sort of area, and we need to start talking about stuff. It would have been way clever if it was during like Payday Con or something. But anyways, moving on. Hold on. It's okay. Yeah, I could hear Almir. Sounds like Almir. Could have been maybe someone being tied up or something, kind of, or the drawer again. It sounds like a lot of opening and closing. Sounds like someone being dragged, maybe? Now, this one to me, basically sounds like plane or a helicopter in the air because there's lots of rumbling when I heard it on my headphones. A train passing by. More glass breaking, and kind of sounds like an error too. Maybe on a computer, maybe on a door. I feel like more on a door or some sort of key panel. Just sounds like fireworks to me. Obviously a train. That or an airplane that's really close. Sounds more like a train. That sounded like an airplane. Now, this one right here, there's lots of wood being like having pressure on them. You know, like pressure is being applied to the wood. So it could be a dock area that you have to go to. Maybe there's a swimming segment, which I really hope there isn't because we're not really good at swimming. That Or, you know, we could be on a boat arriving at the party. Or maybe the party is on a boat. Maybe. There's lots of things that go on this one sound. But the most that I can think of, if it's close to the shore, it could be either you're on a boat or you're going to a dock kind of area. Just sounds like key panel. That could have been the plane in the air that I heard. Yep, and these are the cop sounds. Now, from that one, it kind of sounds like a cop car is just arriving at the scene and it parks because it stops at sirens. There's a few more clips of sirens and driving type sounds, so we might have a driving segment in here. I don't know. Sounds like fireworks to me still. A lot of key panels, maybe an air vent. Sounds like a plane still. It could be a boat. I don't know. Now this one. It sounds like a fish tank. Or you are actually underwater to me. So then again, right, a lot of people are speculating that these might be also sound files for Greenbridge whenever it comes out. So keep that in mind. Again, it sounds like you're on a dock, you're, you know, putting your bags down. Sounds like swimming. That sounds like fireworks shooting up into the air. More just crowd sounds. I doubt that these are going to be relevant in the actual game. Like, oh, I actually have to listen to the crowds. I think they're just for ambient noise, like maybe for a stealth segment, or I don't know. Sounds like a bag, like stuff is being put into a bag, maybe. That, or you may be like strapping yourself onto a zip line. Kind of sounds like a plane. This is what I'm saying, that there might be a car chase, because if you can hear in the background, you can hear the, the car engine going, increasing, and the cop car. More fish tanks, Could be an oxygen tank too, but... Sounds like a bag, getting zipped up. More of a plane, crowds. Sounds like you're closer to a crowd, more cop sounds, I just heard. And this is more distant. Though, it also kind of sounds like you're underwater too, in a sense, or you're just like down under something, like down under, or like farther away from the crowd. Sounds like more struggling, more vents, maybe opening and closing, maybe storage units too, or maybe filing cabinets. Sounds like you're crawling through a vent and you're kind of like maybe pushing something, like, like how it's like going, like kind of jamming in a way, like do 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 do. And then, more computer sounds, See, it sounds like a vent is slowly opening up. Kind of sounds like a chainsaw or more zipping. So you're just kind of like putting down something, like, I don't know. Sounds like more like vents. Doors opening and closing. See, now you're definitely outside of the water in this one. Now, what that sounds like is you're going onto the shore, because you're going onto something that isn't in the water, because usually when you get out of the water, you aren't like, the water doesn't really make that sound of like someone's in the water, like shh. When you get out of the water, it makes all the dripping kind of sounds, so. Kind of sounds like oxygen and type stuff. You know, like you're in the water. Doesn't really sound like a whole lot of struggling, but... You're definitely kind of like opening an event. You're kicking the screen, you know, and you're kind of landing down onto something. I mean, you could be in a submarine or a boat. Like I've said, it could be a submarine or boat. Another train. More cop sounds. Like, these are sounds like I think I've been, you know, like, starting to repeat. Sounds very ambient, maybe, you know, in a certain vehicle, or it could be deep in the ocean, I don't know. Like, any type of vehicle is what I'm saying. Maybe less of a car. Right, we're back to a crowd. Yeah, see, it kind of sounds like Georgia, like a bunch of, like, females. I don't know. That kind of sounds like someone getting out of the car and then still fireworks or gunfire. Sounds like maybe someone is like one of those phones we have to like roll it, you know, like dial, you know, type phones. Is that it? I don't know. There's many ways to look at this. But, like I've said, and then after this, it was leaked of these images. So, anyways, yep, that was 50 minutes of me discussing about, like, how, like, basically what I'm saying is that I think the heist, the weapons, the Scarface, the characters were all pre-made way in advance. Like, I'm not saying like before Biker, though I'm thinking that Wick maybe was before Biker. I think Scarface was during the Hoxton kind of period because they were trying to get the rights, maybe. So maybe that's why it was taking a bit. Who knows? But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Maybe in the coming weeks we might have to review some DLCs. Maybe my predictions are right. If they're not, then well, I'm just bad at video games, I think. But yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Check out some videos on the channel. That are not this long. And yeah, that's about it. So see you guys in the next video.